Chrissy. You gonna piss some people off with this one. Oh well. Hey love bugs and love muffins, it's your girl Disastrous Beauty, and I am back with another video. Hopefully this wine does not stain my teeth and my lips, but if I'm looking a little crazy because I can't really see myself in the viewfinder from here, my little cheap wine may be staining some stuff, okay? And that's what that is. If my lips look purple, that's why. Anyways, y'all, this video is gonna be a very, very different type of video, as I'm sure you can see from the title. So let me do a little housekeeping, girl. Okay, let me do a little housekeeping. First, I want to say, if you're not already subscribed, girl, click the subscribe button. It's not costing not one red cent. And if you like these sort of videos and you want me to continue to do these type of videos, then I will, girl. So hit that like button. If you hit that like button, I know you like it and I know you want to see more of them, and I'll do them because your girl can talk. This particular video, he's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
A good man, Savannah. A good man.
That's what this video is stemming from, okay? And I'll get all into that in a minute. Now, I do want to go ahead and say, I know this topic may be a little controversial for some people. It's not very controversial to me. Honestly, I'm not somebody that get ruffled very easily. I can watch people's content. I can watch people whose opinions are different from mine and not give a poot, okay? Because I'm still gonna be over here living my life. But I know on the internet, okay, on Beyonce's internet, sometimes people don't like or know how to take other people's opinions. Like they act like somebody else's opinion is the end of their world. I'm not that person, but if you are, honey, you feel free to go off in the comments. Like, I may or may not respond, but you can go off in the comments, or you can just exit stage left of this video right now. It's up to you. It's a free country, baby. But I am gonna be talking about a few things, and like I said, a lot of people may not like what I have to say, but I'm gonna say it because I can. Because I can. So anyways, y'all, grab your wine, grab your tea, grab whatever, honey, and let's have this girl talk. I think it's time we have this girl talk. I really do. So as usual, I have my handy dandy notebook. So if you see me looking down, it's just to keep me kind of on track, because you guys know I can kind of derail a little bit, okay? So this is to keep me on track. If you see me looking down, I'm kind of just reading my notes and reading everything that I wrote, and I wrote pages, honey. I kind of went on a tangent, so this video may be a little long, okay? So I may have to split it up in two parts, I don't know. But this video stems from a comment, and I'm gonna insert the comment so you guys can see it. I'm probably going to get rid of the name because I don't want anybody trolled or feeling some type of way or whatever. I may do that, and I may actually delete the comment from the video that it was on, because this is not to, you know, to send people to attack someone. That's not what this video is for. This video is not even really to address the committee. Hold on, the commenter. Yeah, this is not even to address the commenter. It's not to address her whatsoever, but I have been getting a few comments that are similar to this one. And girl, I was looking at that one and I was like, woo! Woo! I kind of clutched my pearls. I laughed a little bit, and then I kind of felt sad. I'm gonna be honest. I did feel sad. Not for me, child. I'm over here living my best life. I'm living my best life. But I felt sad for the person, and I felt sad for the girls and the women that I know who have been given this type of advice before, you know. So that's what made me want to do this video. This video is not for the people that think like that or are stuck in their ways, because honey, you stuck in your ways, you stuck in your ways, you stuck in your ways, honey. This is a video to counteract the bad advice, or that what I feel is bad advice that has been given constantly in our community, in my opinion, to black girls and to black women. And I've seen so I've been given this advice, but honey, I'm like, that's kind of like my personality. I'll listen to your advice all day. I will. Whether I take it, no. Sometimes I wish I have taken certain advice, and sometimes I'm like, thank God I didn't. But this particular narrative, honey, I wanted to do this video for those women, those girls that are stuck in or in bad relationships or in toxic relationships. I want to counteract that. Okay, that's what I want to do. I want to let them know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So that is why I decided to do this video. Like I stated, I don't typically do videos like this, and I just felt like it was important. I think a lot of times we don't, I know I have a very avoidant personality, and certain things I just don't feel like dealing with. Like if I feel like it's gonna make me feel some type of way, I just don't like to deal with it, and I'll just let it go. But this particular narrative, I really felt like I needed to have a conversation about it, and I wanted black women to know it's okay to be happy, girl. Okay, it's okay to be happy. It's okay to be happy, and it's okay to scream it from the rooftop. Do that. Do that. If you are happy, scream it from the rooftop. Say it to everybody you look at. I am happy. You know what I'm saying? Your face is going to show it anyway, but it's okay to also say it and express it. So I am here in this video to tell every woman, but especially black women, it's okay to be happy, sis. Now let's get into this video. So the first thing I wrote is my supposed happiness bothers people. Why? And so I remember, like, after I read that comment, and sometimes I do think on comments. Sometimes comments just roll off my back if I know if it's a troll. But if I know it's somebody that is actually somebody that watches me and somebody I have seen consistently, and they're just not trolling, they're not just saying random crap to get under my skin, like they're actually being serious, it makes me think about it a little more. Like those comments I actually will think about. Like I will think about what that person is saying. And I was like, I was like, dang, obviously my happiness bothers her. And I was like, I had to think about times when somebody else's happiness bothered me. Like that was the only way that I could even try to grasp what she was trying to say and why. Because at first I was like, goodness, what in the world is going on here? That was my first like reaction. And then I was like, well, you know, why would my happiness bother her? And I had to think about the times that somebody else's happiness bothered me and why it bothered me. And I'm gonna keep it a whole buck with y'all. The only time somebody else's happiness has bothered me was when I was unhappy myself. And that's just being completely honest. I have had plenty of times where I was so annoyed with this giddy, happy-go-lucky person, or this person's, I'm so happy, I'm so in love, and life is great, and life is grand, and been like,
she's so annoying. I wish you'd shut up. Nobody's that happy.
You know what I'm saying? I have been there, girl. Okay, I've never said it. I'm not really somebody that's the type to rain on anybody's parade. I'm not that person, but I thought it. I rolled my eyes and I probably said it to someone else about that person. And why? Why did I do that? Because I was unhappy. I was in a very bad place myself. So that person's happiness bothered me because I wasn't. And that has been the only time somebody else's happiness bothered me. I think, honestly, until recently, I didn't exactly know what happiness was. Like, I knew about having happy moments, but I didn't really understand, like, internal happiness, like true happiness, true fulfillment, truly feeling good. Like I said, I've had happy moments. I've had beautiful moments. But as far as just complete happiness internally with myself, within myself, on multiple levels, I didn't think that actually existed. I had grown up thinking you do this, you do this, you do this, and that's it. You know, you'll have happy moments, but you do this, this, and this. That's just life. You know what I mean? And that was kind of like the mind frame that I had. Nobody is ever happy 24/7. which I still believe nobody's happy 24/7. I'm not happy 24/7. I still have my moments, girl. I still have my moments, but I'm happy more than I'm sad. You know what I'm saying? And before it was the opposite, like not just in my past marriage, just in my life, you know? And I was like, you know, nobody can be happy, more happy than sad when life is so hard. That was really my mindset. That was my complete mindset. And I think, honestly, that is the mindset of a lot of people, especially a lot of black women, because we're constantly struggling and everything is hard. Like, we even we have normalized that relationships are hard. Relationships are work. Relationships are this, this, and this. Like, it's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be this. And why? Why is your relationship supposed to be hard? Yes, you're going to have moments where things, where you disagree, and moments where, you know, you having a hard time financially or whatever. You're going to have those moments, but your relationship is not supposed to be hard. And I think we have to get out of that mindset, because to me, that mindset is toxic in itself. Your relationship is not supposed to be hard. Your relationship is supposed to bring you joy. Your relationship is supposed to be your peace. And a lot of times we stay in toxic relationships and we're like, well, I'm supposed to. Like, I ain't supposed to just like throw in the towel. Like, it's supposed to be hard. You got to get through the hard times in order for it to be great. And if you go into something with that mindset, how can you expect to ever be happy? Like, really, how can you ever expect to be happy? Because you have already put it out there that it's going to be hard. So it will. But we can move on from that. I realized that I don't have any examples of a non-toxic relationship, like as far as marriage, you know. And you know, that's sad, but it's normal. It's way more normal to witness toxic relationships than non-toxic relationships. And I have sat here and tried to think of them. I have tried to think of people that I know that are still together, whose relationship or whose marriage is not toxic. And I really could not think of one, like straight off the dome. I'm pretty sure maybe I know one, but straight, like just thinking in my head right now, I can't think of one. And I know people that have been married for years, and people will act like just because you're married for years, like this is an example of a good relationship, and it's not. Yeah. Like, let's be for real. How many of those relationships, those marriages, those people at this point, they may have been married 30 or 40 years, but they just homies now. They're just siblings, or they hate each other. Or they don't, like, when nobody is around, they don't even talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? It's not a loving relationship. It's just a relationship that, you know, the person, they stayed together. That's it. And that's not healthy. And we need to stop normalizing that. My grandparents were together 70 years. Or my grandparents were together 60 years. Are they happy though? Are they happy? Just because they stayed together does not mean they are happy. If you talk to your grandmother, would she say, like, I love this man with all my heart? To this day, I have been with him for 50 years and I still love him. I still roll over and am happy that he is beside me. I want you to ask your grandma. I know what my grandma would have said, child. Y'all don't want to know her answer. I want you to ask your grandmother, or even ask your grandfather, like, are you still in love with this person? Yes, y'all been together for 50, 60 years, but are you still in love with them? Have you ever been in love with them? Do you even know what love is? Ask them. Are you happy? Ask them. I dare you. I realized that staying in a relationship just because is doing not only a disservice to yourself, it's doing a disservice to your spouse, it's doing a disservice to your kids, it's doing a disservice to everybody that is watching and looking up to you. It's doing a disservice to all of them by just staying in something that you're not happy in. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this may be something that may ruffle some feathers, and I don't care, because I feel like it needs to be said. And child, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. And I'm not no relationship expert, child. Obviously, this will be my third marriage. So obviously I'm nobody's relationship expert, but my experience has taught me that you don't want to stay in something just for the sake of staying in it. Okay, just for the sake of not having to hear people talk about you getting another divorce, or for shame, or being guilt tripped into staying in something that no longer serves you or makes you happy. Period. If it ever made you happy at all. So I came to the conclusion that I wanted my kids to see me happy. I wanted my daughter, in this particular relationship, I wanted my daughter to witness her mother being loved on, her mother being treated like a queen, her mother being doted on and smiling every time her spouse walks in the door, because I wanted to set that example that this is what you do. Because I knew that my examples showed me otherwise, and so I did otherwise. So I was like, you know better, you do better. I was ignorant, and I feel like now I am not. And so I was not going to pass that ignorance on to my child. I didn't want my child to make the same mistakes that I have made. I wanted to show her happiness. That was my goal, whether it was with a man or alone. I wanted to make sure that I was an example to my child of what happiness is within you. And I also wanted to show my son, if you are married, if you do get married, this is the type of relationship you should be in. And this is the type of relationship you shouldn't be in, okay? I want to be an example to my kids. And a lot of times in our community, we say, stay for the kids, stay for the kids. And all you are doing is showing your kids toxicity. All you're doing is showing your kids trauma. All you are doing is teaching them that it is okay to be unhappy. I'm pretty sure your children would much rather have two happy parents that are apart than miserable parents that are together. Ask them. Ask them. Okay, and to end this particular topic off, the thing that I wrote is, it is more important for my kids to be in a happy, healthy environment than a toxic one, just so they are in a two-parent household. Let me say it again for the people in the back. It is more important for me to have my children in a happy, healthy environment than for them to be in a toxic one, just so I can say they are in a two-parent household. So the next thing I wrote is, co-parenting doesn't have to be toxic. So I'm pretty sure that is what I wrote as the title of this particular chapter. So what I wrote on here is, I talked about my first marriage. And I know some of you guys know that I was married before this second divorce. This is my second divorce, honey. Yes. And I say it proudly. I have no shame. I have no shame. I have lived, girl. I have lived. The first time I got married, me and Edwin's dad were 22 years old. We were babies. We were just doing what we saw done. Okay, we had no business getting married. We had no business being married. We didn't even know who we were, and we are two completely, we was 22 then, we're 35 now. And we are two completely different people than we were then. You know what I'm saying? Our brains hadn't even formed yet. You know what I'm saying? Our decision-making abilities hadn't even formed yet, and we were getting married and having babies. You know what I'm saying? So I wrote on here that we had me and Juice Edwin's dad had a very awful divorce. Unlike me and Journey's dad. Our divorce was smooth, easy breezy, cover girl. But me and Edwin's dad had a very awful divorce, in my opinion. We had lawyers. We went through the works. Child, this divorce that I had was literally we were on the same page. Honey, it's over with. Let's cut ties. We're cool. Hey, how you doing? That is us. That divorce was toxic. Okay, and the thing is, I remember saying at the time that he isn't. When my lawyer asked me, he said he wants every weekend. And I said no to his lawyer. And I said, no, you can go back and tell him yes. Because he may be an awful husband, but he's a great dad. And I meant that. And I recently said that he and his fiance came over and to talk to me and Ron. And because we like to keep things on on one page, but I'll get into that in a minute. And I brought that up again, and he bust out laughing. And you know, we all laughed because really he was an awful husband to me, and he probably felt like I was an awful wife to him, because just because somebody isn't a good husband to you doesn't mean they're a bad person. There's a difference. Sometimes people bring out the worst in you. I felt like he brought out the worst in me, and I'm pretty sure I brought out the worst in him. And you can move on. You can break up and be the best of friends. Y'all can be cool. Y'all weren't great together. Y'all should have never been together as a couple, but you can break up and realize, I like this person. You know what? You cool. Now, I wouldn't want to be with you, but you cool. Because y'all were never meant to be together in the first place. And that's fine, but you have to recognize that instead of trying to fit a square into a circle, you have to realize that, you know what, this ain't gonna work. We are not compatible. Now, it would have been great had we realized that prior to getting married, prior to bringing a kid in the middle of this, but you know what, damage is done. You can't cry over spilled milk. What you can do instead is realize it for what it is. Stop being hateful. Take all that hate out of your blood. And realize that what you really need to do is do whatever is in the best interest of your child. Take your feelings out of it and do whatever is in the best interest of your child. And I have an example. I had to ask my friend, my best friend, I had to ask her if I could use her as an example. And my best friend, she just recently got divorced as well, crazy enough. Now, she's not like me. She was actually, I think they were married 10 years. And they got a divorce. And, you know, towards the end of their marriage, you know, obviously when you're about to go get a divorce, obviously things have gotten irreparable. So, you know, they weren't on the best of terms at that particular point. Actually, oddly enough, they kind of were. It was weird. They were weird. But they realized, you know, we're not compatible. This is not going to work. And when I say they are the best co-parents I have ever seen, child, they're better than me and EJ's dad and Journey's dad. Like, and I feel like I be doing the darn thing, but we don't kick it. They kick it. Like, they still will go to events and stuff together. Now we'll meet up at the events. We ain't gonna go together. We ain't that cool. We cool, but we ain't that cool. They will actually go to the events together. So to me, they are a prime example, and I've been telling, I really want her to come and do a video with me, because I feel like we need to talk about this more, how important co-parenting is when things don't work out. Let's be honest, most marriages end in divorce. Like, we have to be realistic about this. This is not the days where women have to just stay because they ain't got no choice. There are choices now, and honestly, I'm pretty sure if grandma now, I ain't saying this is the case for every grandma, but it is the case for a lot of them. If grandma was able to leave, if grandma had the options that we have today as women, they would have left too. I don't care what you say. They would have left too. If they felt like that they could take care of themselves without the man, they probably would have left too. Because we do a lot of comparison of these old relationships where these people were miserable. They only stayed together because they had no other option. Like, let's keep it a whole buck, and I don't feel like we are honest about that. Okay, I don't feel like we're honest about that. A lot of times grandma was cheated on, grandma was abused mentally, emotionally, all that, and she still stayed because she felt like she had no other choice. So nowadays we have the choice to dip if we want to dip. You know, a lot of women do still live by that old mentality and whatever. I don't judge anybody's life. I don't. I can't. I really can't, because my life is not picture perfect. It has not been. If you look back at my track record, you'll be like, ooh, child. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have room to judge, but I do want to say, now we have the option to leave, and I wish we would stop pushing that narrative that you need to stay, or that you need a man, or that you have to stay in a situation that is not benefiting you in any way or making you happy. Instead, it's making you sad. You know what I'm saying? So I wish we would stop pushing that narrative, and pushing the narrative that if y'all aren't together, then your kid is gonna fail at life. or your kid is gonna be miserable, or this and that. When in reality, a lot of kids grow up watching their parents fight and yell and scream and all of that. And they are doing more damage by staying in those toxic relationships than they ever would have by leaving. You can actually get out. You can be the craziest person in a marriage. Get out of it and just get sane. Not just you as a woman, or, you know, just you independently, you and that person. It's like y'all just get clarity, because you were so clouded in that relationship that you didn't really have any clarity. All you were just getting by day. And you can get out of that relationship and really start to heal. And if that person does the same and they heal, you can actually be a much better person, a much better parent to your child. And both of y'all, if done right, both of y'all can be the best parents separately for your kids than you ever could have been. Not only that, like in my situation, my son, I'm gonna use him as an example, and I don't think his dad will mind. I hope he won't. If he do, he'll let me know, trust me. But in my case, my son now has not just one mom, but two. He gained an extra mom and he gained an extra dad. And to me, that is a beautiful thing. And not only did he gain that, he gained 4 additional grandparents. Well, actually 5, because Ron has a bonus dad and a dad too. So he actually gained 5 additional grandparents. Now, let's talk about that type of village. Now, that's a village, okay? That's a village when you do it right. All right, y'all. So this next part is, I think, what I get the most smoke about in general. Not just on YouTube, but in life. As far as me, like with me and my personality, I've been hearing this forever. Like it's just like a theme at this point, girl. What I wrote is, this is definitely a common thing I see for me. And probably a common theme in my life. I see these comments a lot. Girl, you moved on too fast, blah, 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 blah. Honestly, this particular time I moved slow. Typically I do move fast, like very, very fast. This time I did move slow, believe it or not. I know, despite what you guys see or think, I am very private. I don't talk about anything that's going on in my relationship if it's bad. I talk about the positives pretty much, but I don't really talk about the bad stuff, not to my parents, not to my friends. I basically journal it all and deal with it until I'm ready to, until I've dealt with it personally. I'm not somebody that's gonna broadcast stuff on the internet. I'm not gonna be making all these posts. Some people can see it. If you're intuitive, you can see it. And I have gotten messages behind the scenes, you know, back when I was going through it, girl. Back when I was going through it and still skinning and grinning online, doing wig reviews, doing story times, or doing whatever, skinning and grinning, and some people could see it and they would message me. I would get those messages behind the scene and people would, and I would still say, no, I'm good, everything's great, you know. If you know, you know who I'm talking to. And I appreciate you for checking on me, and I appreciate you for seeing me, because I think a lot of people don't actually see behind the smiles, you know. I don't even want to get into it. Some people just don't see behind that. But I will say this, I was separated a lot longer than you think. I may not have been divorced long, but I was separated a lot longer than you think. And I did a lot of work on myself prior to getting into another relationship, because I had decided I did not want to attract who I was at that time. And I feel like you attract whoever or wherever you are, you kind of attract that energy to you. And y'all both kind of, what do they call that? Y'all trauma bond. That's what it's called. You trauma bond. And that is toxic, okay? That is toxic 101. And it's common. It's what most people do, not just in relationships where it's marriage or whatever, also in friendships. A lot of times, a lot of relationships are based off trauma bonding. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to do that anymore. I had done it enough. 2 marriages, 2 marriages too many. I had done that. And I decided I was just going to work on me. I was going to work on me. And I had already started working on me prior to, you know, completely deciding to separate. I had already started doing the work. You know, I had already decided that I wanted to be a different person, a better person, and I needed a lot of healing. And it just so happened that, you know, by the time I got on the dating site, I really wasn't getting on there to get into no relationship. Girl, I'm trying to get a roster. I ain't gonna hold you. He know it. Ron knows it. Like, if he was here, he would tell you. I was trying to get a roster, honey. I decided I was just gonna, you know, date a bunch of people and continue to live my best life. And I didn't know if I would ever be in another monogamous relationship again. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I said I'm not getting married ever again. I was fine just being single. But God had other plans. But it didn't move as fast as people think. So like, we literally were friends and we kept that under wraps. There was only a couple of people that really knew what was going on, and still nobody had met him. Even the people that knew about him had not met him. We just spent a lot of time just really getting to know each other as people. There was no rush. We both were out of marriages and we didn't want to just jump into something at like a rebound. I wasn't going to be his rebound. He didn't want to be my rebound. It was just no pressure. It just was we did not pressure each other. He didn't pressure me and I didn't pressure him. And that was the easiest relationship I think I have ever gotten into, because it started as a friendship. Everything just moved at this sort of pace. And I really enjoyed becoming his friend. And I think getting to know him and being his friend before I was his girlfriend and then fiance and then soon to be wife really made our relationship what it is today. I had done so much work on myself, and that's why I believe I was able to attract him, because I was not in the same mind frame that I was when I got with my first husband and my second husband. My mind frame had changed. You know what I'm saying? I know to you guys it seems very fast, because literally by the time I announced it to y'all, he had just started meeting people. Like, literally by the time I told y'all was around the time I had started meeting his family. He had started meeting my family. I kid you not. Like, we moved very slow and we were very private for about 6 months. And then we decided, oh, okay, you know what? I think we want to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? But at that point, we knew each other. Like, we had spent just about every day that we didn't have our kids, honey. If I ain't have my kids and he didn't have his kids, we were together. We were in our own world for a good 6 months, and I enjoyed every moment. I'm not gonna hold you. Sometimes I wish I could go back to that. I enjoyed every moment of just having him to myself and him being a secret. People really not knowing what's going on in my life, or, you know, that I'm with somebody and I'm enjoying somebody's company and just being away from the world. We were in our own world at that time. But I do understand that to the world, it seems very fast. Extremely fast, but it wasn't. I can assure you it was not fast. It was a slow process, and I enjoyed it, and I liked that there was no pressure. Yeah. So I had to address that, because that is like something that I'm seeing over and over again. And I guess especially for you guys, you know, you only see bits and pieces of my life. You know, you see what I want you to see, and it's literally clips here and there. I'm not gonna bring negative stuff on here. I'm just not. I'm not that person. I'm not somebody that's gonna get over here crying about my man. I'm not gonna do that. And I'm not somebody that's gonna disrespect my kid's father. And that was something that was also in that comment. And I was like, girl, what? Who are you? Who? Like, I'm not going to disrespect my daughter's father. I'm not going to disrespect my son's father. I don't do that. I don't talk negative to. You can go on all my social media and you're not going to see anything negative about either of those men. No matter what I went through or what I've been through, I'm not going to come over here and bash them. I'm just not. I never will. Even if it means that people are going to bash me. Because it's kind of like that Jada effect. You know what I'm saying? who I have the same birthday as, mind you. Me and Jada Pinkett have the same birthday. So if you don't like her, I can understand why you don't like me. But it's like that Jada effect where you have to decide that you're going to be the bad guy. You're going to be the bad guy because you're the one that's on, you're the one that's showing that you're happy even though you're not with this person, but you're not saying why. You're not saying this, you're not saying that. So people are automatically going to assume, and I'll let you assume, because I'm not finna get on here and say anything bad about them. So if you want me to be the bad guy, you want to be mad that I've moved on, you want to be mad at da-da-da-da, cool, boo. I honestly don't care. What I do care about is I don't want people continuously pushing the narrative to other young girls, to impressionable young women, that whether you're happy or not, you need to stay there. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to stay there. He's a good man, Savannah.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
That I'm not cool with. Period. Woo child, Elizabeth Taylor. That was the second part of the comment. I don't even know if I added that one in there. And when I say I laughed hysterically at that comment, because prior to my grandmother meeting Ron, that was one of the things that she said. When I told her I was getting a divorce, because you know it took me a minute to even tell her. I'm telling y'all, I'm very proud of it. It takes me a minute. I have to process stuff. I have to make sure that this is the decision I want to make and before I tell anybody. And once I tell you, by the time that I tell people what I'm gonna do, I've already made my decision. I don't care. You can say whatever you want to say. You're not in my house. You're not in my life. You don't know nothing really that's going on behind closed doors. So at that point, I'm just going to tell you. But I've already done the work, and I've already decided this is what's best for me. Okay? So my grandmother said to me when I told her I was getting divorced again, she was like, "You're going to be Elizabeth Taylor." I was like, how many times did Elizabeth Taylor get married? I'm curious, because I love Elizabeth Taylor. I think she is a diva, honey. So to me, that ain't no, that's a compliment. I love some Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor lived her best life, honey. So, a word. But I remember, I wrote on here, when I remarried the second time, I was only 28. Okay, so when I had remarried, I was 28 years old, and my grandmother, because we did courthouse, honey. I'm a courthouse person. I don't like no weddings. When we got married, that same day, like literally right after we got done saying our vows, my grandma was like, "I can't believe you're 28 years old and already on your second marriage." And I remember saying to her, "And if this don't work, I'll be on my third." And I meant it. I meant it. That is my mentality. Nobody is gonna make me stay where I don't want to stay. Nobody is gonna guilt trip me into being in something that doesn't serve me as a person. Nobody. I don't care. I just don't care. And you can say, and I'm not even somebody that doesn't tell people, "Well, I'm on my third marriage." I broadcast it. I don't care. You're not gonna make me feel bad for doing what is best for me and doing what I think is best for my kids and their happiness and my own happiness. Because in order for them to truly be happy, they need a happy parent. Okay, they need two happy parents. And honestly, when you're in that toxic relationship, you're not the only one unhappy. Most of the time, you're both unhappy. Okay, so I'm not gonna sacrifice my happiness, my kids' happiness, and the people around me happiness just to stay in a marriage for other people. I wrote on here, I said, not that I don't take marriage seriously, because I also think that people think I make a mockery out of marriage. That is not the case. It's just that I am not that's my man and I'm gonna stick beside him no matter what type of woman. I never have been. I never will be. That is not me. That is not she. And if you are looking for she, you are looking in the wrong direction. And this is not the channel for you, girl. I am not that person. I am not somebody. Child, if you go to prison, do not expect Chrissy to stay there, because she will not be there. And I let people know this. That is not me. There are women that is, you know, and that's fine. I don't judge. It's just not me. Never will be me. If something is not serving me If a person is not honoring their vows that they made to me, then, okay. When we made these vows, we said ... And if you don't honor ... I am well within my rights to say, and that's it, and that's all. I'm not gonna be mean to you. I'm not gonna keep you from your kids. I'm not bitter. I'm not any of those things. Child, I will leave, and I leave gracefully, happily, and I let you live your best life. And when you get with somebody new, I trust you, and I trust that you're not gonna put our child around someone that is, you know, that will mistreat them. Now, granted, I'm also gonna ask my child, do you like them? Because really, your kid will tell you everything you need to know. You don't have to be a jerk. You don't have to be mean or cruel to whoever your ex decides to get with. All you have to do is ask your kids, do you like them? That's it. That's all you have to do. And when your kids say yes, then yay, that's it. Nor do I make it a big thing to meet everybody that they are with or that the kids get with. Like at some point, yes, you know, we'll do the introductions and blah, blah, blah when it gets serious or whatever. But I just don't make it a big deal. I just don't. And when I do meet whoever you are with, I'm cordial, I'm nice, and I'm like, you know, it's so nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. That is me all day. So once again, I want to reiterate that this video isn't made for the woman that made the comment. It's not even made for the people that agree with, you know, that type of mentality that, you know, you should just stay. You should just stay. It's not made for those people. I made this video. I'm making this video for the women that are in toxic, abusive, unloving, emotionally damaging relationships, and are listening to advice like, it's okay, marriage is hard. It's gonna be okay, you just gotta work through it. It's gonna be okay. I know you sad. I know you cry every day. I know you cry every day, girl, but it's okay. Marriage is hard. Relationships are hard. It is for those women. That's what this video is for. This video is for the women that are surrounded by the he's a good man Savannah type of women. This is for those type of women. And you can be happy because there's light at the end of the tunnel. You can leave that relationship and you can find an amazing relationship outside of it, or you can find an amazing relationship within yourself. That's what I want. That's why I'm making this video, to show you that I feel like I am proof that you don't have to stay in toxic relationships. You can move on. You can move on with your life and be happy. And your kids can still be happy. That's why I'm here. Okay. Elizabeth Taylor and all, girl. Elizabeth Taylor and all. I am making this video for the women that are in abusive, toxic, emotionally damaging relationships, and the only people that are around them giving them advice are the he's a good man Savannah types, which make you feel imprisoned and trapped in those relationships. I am here to tell you that you do not you do not have to stay in those relationships. There's light at the end of the tunnel, whether you find it with a good man or whether you find it within yourself. Find it within yourself. I'm here to tell you first, find it within yourself. Find that happiness, that light within yourself. And you will attract good people to you, whether it's a man or a good friend or whatever. You will attract that energy within yourself, but you have to heal you first. As far as the he's a good man Savannah type, let them live their life. Let them judge you on the sidelines, and that is fine, child. Their judgments is none of your business. Their opinions of you is none of your business. What your business is to make sure that you are living the best life for you. Okay? I know it seems like I'm just bragging constantly. I'm so happy. I'm so this. I'm so that. Child, I'm a Virgo. We're humble.
Girl, you know that's a lie.
We're humble people. We're modest. Okay. I'm not screaming from the rooftops about how happy I am just for me. I am screaming it at the rooftops to show black women that you can be happy. that it is okay to be happy after a divorce. That your life does not have to end because you're not with the man that you had kids with. That is not the end of your life. That is not all your worth. That man is not your worth. You are worthy of happiness within you. And that's why I scream it from the rooftop. That's why I make these type of videos for those women watching me that are unhappy in their marriages and feel stuck, that they can see. You don't have to feel stuck. You're not trapped in that marriage. I've been divorced twice. I'm engaged now. And I'm happy. I am happy, girl. And I will continue to say it. I don't care who it pisses off. I don't care who's mad. I'm going to continue to say it. And if it makes you mad that I am saying it, that I am screaming it from the rooftop, then sorry for you. Sorry for you. All right, y'all, so I'm almost done. Po Journey has the flu. She upstairs, and I'm gonna have to go do some babying, okay, in a minute. So I got 2 little sections left, which is this part and then my conclusion, and then I will be out of here. The next section I have on here is divorce is what you make it. I think we have attached such a negative connotation to divorce. And to me, divorce does not have to be this really negative experience. It is literally what you make it. And I can use my first divorce as an example. It was negative. Okay, it was toxic. My first husband was a counselor. I did a whole video about that. But you know, counselors are emotional people, okay, girl? And I don't know who needs to hear this, but Virgos, I don't know. I don't know how y'all and counselors be in relationship. Great friends, love me a counselor friend. But I feel like Virgo is can be a little too detached for the emotional counselor. So I feel like for the most part, other than also we were kids getting a divorce, I think, you know, we were just extremely incompatible, and it was just a mess. Okay, but this second divorce, it went very smoothly. Like I said, Reggie and I are still cordial. Like, we go to Journey's events together. We talk, we text. If something is going on, like literally Journey has the flu. Me and Reggie have been texting, and you know, he's like, you know, if y'all need anything, let me know. You know, I'll bring it to y'all. His mama picked up Journey's meds. She came here. She's been in here. Like, it has not been a negative experience. You know what I'm saying? It is what you make it. And my daughter is thriving. She's thriving. She feels like she just inherited a whole extra family, and it's fun for her. Like, she's like, Ron is gonna be my second dad. She loves him, and her dad is fine with that. And when Reggie remarries, and she'll have a second mom, and I will make that transition easy for her, the same way that Reggie made this transition easy for me. Divorce is what you make it. And I mentioned that Edwin's dad and his bonus mom came over, and they came over because Ron and I wanted to show EJ a united front. Okay, Ron and I, his other parents, all of us wanted him to know that we are a united front, that we're one. Granted, we're in different households, but we are one. We are one unit. Okay, you respect her. I said to his bonus mom, you respect her the same way you respect me. His dad said to him, you respect Ron the same way you respect me. The rules that apply at this house are the same rules that apply at your other house, and vice versa. I think if you do things that way, your kids aren't confused. It gives your kids permission to love that other parent, because a lot of times we let our emotions get in the way, and we're like, you know, we're so upset that the other parent is with somebody else that we put our kids in a position where they feel like they have to choose. They feel like they can't love that other parent, that bonus parent, because we are making them choose. Grown-ups are making them choose. But if you show a united front, you show your child that it is okay to love that other parent, they will. But you have to make that effort. You have to put your kid first. You have to put your kids before your own feelings. And that way, divorce is not hard. It's not hard on you. It's not hard on your kids. And it doesn't have to be this toxic thing. You decide that. You make it toxic. Or you can choose to make it not toxic. you can choose to tell your kid they're actually gaining instead of losing. They're gaining another family. They're gaining other people into their lives. You do that. You. But instead, a lot of times what I've seen, more times than not, are people going back and, oh, his dad ain't da-da-da-da-da, to the child. Now, granted, I have been guilty of this. I have been toxic. Like, let's be real. I'm not somebody here that's going to front and act like I'm some sort of angel child. I have been that person. Not in this divorce, but in my first divorce, I was ignorant. In my first divorce, I was ignorant, y'all. I was young, and he was giving me a hard time, and I was like, you give me a hard time, I'm give you a hard time. Okay? And I have said some ignorant stuff where my son could hear me say it, and I have had to apologize. You know what I'm saying? I have had to apologize to him because they love their parent. I don't care. Kids can have a parent that's a whole drug addict and they still love them. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to place them in positions where they feel like they can't love their parent or they can't love their bonus parents. You don't want to do that to your child. You have to make the conscious decision to not only make divorce easy on yourself and your ex, but on your kids. And when you do that, it's not a bad experience. Like, divorce is hard anyway. It's like a death, but it can also be like a rebirth into something beautiful if you allow it. Period. Whew, child, I'm finally in conclusion. Okay, girl. In conclusion, I wrote, let's stop normalizing toxicity. Let's not have another generation of black women being the long-suffering wife. He's a good man, Savannah.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
Let's normalize happiness, and not just with a man, but within yourself. Because despite how it may seem, I'd rather be happy alone than unhappily married. Okay? Let me say it again for the people in the back. I'd rather be happy alone than unhappily married. Meaning that if this I'm glowing and growing right now, honey. I don't see this ever ending in divorce. And I don't think I've ever said that. I don't think I've ever said that. I don't think I went into any of my other two marriages thinking, yep, I'm gonna be with this person forever. No. I don't think I ever thought that. I don't think I've ever felt that. I think in the back of my head, I always thought, well, I'm probably gonna end up alone. But I'm gonna do this for now. You know, this is a temporary thing. This right here feels different. This right here feels like forever. But if it doesn't, if it's not forever, I will still be happy. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not just happy because I am with Ron. I had already found happiness within Chrissy. So, child, I would be distraught. Don't ever get it twisted. If this doesn't work, I will definitely mourn this relationship on a level that I have never mourned a relationship in my entire life. But I will be okay, because I would much rather be happy alone than unhappily married. Another thing that I wrote is, I think about how if I listen to people like the person that made that comment, I would never be where I am now. I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't have found love. My kids wouldn't be happy. So don't listen to other people. Follow your heart and listen to God. And that is my final thoughts. Don't listen to what other people tell you about your life. You're living your life. You. Nobody else actually knows what's going on in your head, what you're dealing with internally, none of that stuff. You can listen to other people's advice, but only you and God know what is really going on in your life. Not your parents, not your aunts, not even your kids, not your spouse. Nobody really knows what you're actually going through internally, but you and God. So don't allow other people's opinions of your life to dictate your life. Your life is yours and yours only, and you only get one. You only get one. And you don't want to spend that one life that you get living it miserably because you're worried about other people's opinions of your life. Okay, and I hope somebody heard me, and I hope somebody got some from this video. And I had tried not to ruffle too many feathers, but honestly, you girl don't care. I don't care. Okay, I had to get ratchet with y'all. Okay, I don't care. I am making this video for all the women that are sitting somewhere miserable as all get out. As all get out. Girl, I done been there. Okay, I feel you. I've been there. And I can honestly tell you that if you leave, even if you do a temporary separation, like a trial separation, just to see if that's what you need for you, and start really doing the work on yourself, going to counseling, therapy, child, what they be saying, touch grass, like go for a walk in the park, find that time for yourself to really and talk to God and listen when he talks, because he talks back. Listen, when you do that work, I promise you, you will find that happiness, and you won't find it listening to the He's a Good Man Savannah's of the world. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you love boats next time. Bye.